June 12, 1944. Dawn settling over the hedgerows east of St. Lo. The air is wet, heavy, and cold enough that breath hangs in small ghosts above the helmets of the men waiting in the shadows. A Panther tank, turret number 221, rumbles along a narrow Norman lane, its engine growling against the tight walls of the bocage. Inside, Unteroffizier Hans Kappel wipes condensation from his gun sight and smirks at the distant echo of American engines. He's heard the sound before. Everyone in the 12th SS Panzer Division has. Shermans. To the veteran crews around him, the M4 is a joke. Thin armor, a gun they consider laughably weak, and a silhouette that seems almost apologetic next to the Panther's predatory lines. Just days earlier, Kappel and the others had passed around a captured American field manual, mocking the crude diagrams of Sherman platoon tactics. Sie bauen Spielzeuge, one of the loaders had said. They build toys. Now as sunlight streaks across the dew, the Panther emerges from the lane into a small orchard. The hedgerows here are like fortress walls, green, ancient, and nearly impenetrable. Perfect terrain for ambush. Perfect terrain, Kappel believes, for crushing American armor. He peers through the slit of his gun sight, confident, relaxed, almost bored. You can almost feel the stillness pressing in on him. But something feels different this morning. The distant rumble, at first scattered, begins to swell and multiply, coming from too many angles at once. Not the timid, hesitant probing the Germans have grown used to. This is coordinated, intentional. The growl of engines settling into rhythm, like a giant drawing breath. Kappel leans forward. In the orchard ahead, something moves, a flash of olive drab. Another, and another. Shermans. But not in the panicked, piecemeal advances the Germans expect. They appear in pairs, then in fours, gliding into cover, disappearing behind hedgerows, reappearing at new angles. Their turrets move with unsettling speed, snapping toward threats like watchful eyes. Kappel frowns. The Panther's massive gun is powerful, but its turret traverse is notoriously slow. His crew begins shifting ammunition crates, preparing for the first shot. Through the gun sight, he sees a Sherman halt beside a shattered stone wall. Another moves into flank support. They are spreading, not charging, feeling the battlefield, probing for traps, applying tactics the Germans had assumed Americans were too inexperienced to master the radio crackles with reports from nearby Panther crews. Multiple contacts, coordinated movement. They're bracketing our position. Kappel's commander, Obersturmführer Dieter Kruger, spits a curse. They're learning. Not supposed to happen. Not here. Not against them. A moment of unease slips through the cramped turret. Kappel steadies himself. He lines up the Sherman near the wall. It's close enough to see the commander's boots protruding from the hatch. One shot. That's all it will take. The Panther was built for this moment. Feuer! Nothing. The Panther's gun jerks, then jams. A stunned silence fills the turret. The loader curses, ramming the breech mechanism with both hands. The commander shouts over the clang of tools. Sweat beads on Kappel's neck as he imagines what the Sherman crew must be doing. Reading the sudden stillness, the hesitation, the fatal pause. Then the orchard erupts. A shell smashes into the Panther's glacis plate 2, weak to penetrate, but strong enough to jolt the crew violently against their harnesses. Before they recover, another hits the turret ring, spraying sparks and paint flakes through the compartment. More impacts. 3. 4. The Shermans aren't trying to kill the Panther outright. They're disabling it, blinding it, overwhelming it from multiple angles with frightening fire discipline. For the first time since landing in France, the 12th SS crews feel something unfamiliar rising in their throats. Not fear, confusion. How did the Americans suddenly know where every blind spot of the Panther lay? When did they learn to move like this through the hedgerows, as if they had rehearsed these fields for years? Outside, the Shermans tighten their positions. Their turret rotations, so fast, so smooth, give them the agility the Panther lacks. Every second that passes, the German advantage erodes. The loader finally frees the jam. Kappel swings the gun toward the nearest Sherman, but as he does, he notices something that sends a cold ripple through him, a Sherman with a longer barrel, thicker mantelet, a sharper profile. This isn't the undergunned M4 he expected. This one carries the new 76mm gun, and it's aiming directly at him. The turret flashes. The shell strikes. The Panther rocks violently as steel screams and weld seams pop. Kappel's ears ring. Kruger shouts something, drowned in the roar and dust. Outside Sherman's shift again, methodical, relentless, cutting off escape routes, sealing the orchard like